Good morning, Sanjay ji. Welcome once again to the Mystic Indicators one-to-one call. So today, I'm going to show you a demo of one of my, very precious GAN indicators, right? Are you able to see my chart?
Yes.
Okay. So can you tell me, how you have used GAN theory so far in your trading?
GAN theory in this, what I have learned from my another book, we generally pick up top high and top bottom, okay, and draw the cyclic line on this, and
Mm.
this chart repeat itself at that particular moment. We have to extend that cyclic line.
Okay. So let me show you, one of my GAN indicators, right, which sort of is based on the GAN's natural cycle, right, especially
Mhm.
around the solar cycle, right. So this is one of my very precious indicators. So I'll show you how to use it. Okay. Okay. So, GAN used to follow, the time cycles, right, as you mentioned, right, and for us, right, human beings, everything revolves around the sun, right? Because
Mhm.
the entire seasons, right? The four seasons that we have, that is based on the sun cycle, right? So now, what you see on the chart is exactly that, right? Now, from
Mhm.
here, from your left, so the sun, sort of, I mean, if you look at the solar cycle, right? It actually starts from 21st of March every year to 20th March
Mhm.
next year, right? That is a
Mhm.
1 year solar cycle, right? So
Mhm.
what you're seeing on the screen right now is basically one solar cycle. But since it always tries to do it with reference to the current period, you are seeing it from 7th of May. Sorry, this one, right? You are seeing from
Mhm.
7th of May to current, this thing, right? So basically, this is comprising of one full year of solar cycle, right? Now, what we do is we then take it into divided it into four seasons, and each of the four we divide it into half, which means there are eight sort of mid cycles, in the year, right? So we
Yeah.
have kind of divided the year into eight cycles, equally divided more or less. Okay.
Mhm.
And each period would be roughly, about 45 to 46 days, right? If you look at it, right?
Mhm.
And then we sort of measure the high, measure the low of each period, right? Like you will see, this is the high and this is the low, right? So this is
Yeah.
the high of this period, this is the low, like that. This is the high, low, high, low, high, low, right? And this is the range. Range means high minus low is the range. Okay.
Mhm.
Now, if you take the average of all these ranges, right? So you have eight numbers, no? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Mhm.
6, 7, 8. If you sum the numbers and divide by it, you get the average, right? So that is basically your average range for this entire cycle, just prior to your current cycle, because current cycle is
Mhm.
starting now. So I've now computed what is the average cycle. Now, according to GAN, what I've done is I've taken the closing price of this cycle, wherever the last closing candle, and I've projected this vibration, right? The average vibration of that stock above. So 0 to 1 is that average vibration, you know, and 0 to
Mhm.
-1 is also the average vibration. So below and above. And then what I've done
Mhm.
is, according to GAN, these cardinal points are like, 90 degrees or 0.25, right? Or 25%, whatever you call it, right? So I've
Right.
divided this range into four parts. And this sort of becomes your GAN observation levels for this period based on the history of last 1 year of trading. So this is a very scientifically designed and as per the principles of GAN. One of the principles. I mean, there may be many principles, but this is one of the best setups that works for
Mhm.
swing traders, right? Ideally, I recommend you to use it on a 2 hour or 125 minutes. 125 because it roughly divides the day into three equal parts. You can use it on 75 minutes, 125 minutes, but minimum 1 hour time frame, right? I mean, that is what I would recommend. You can also use 2 hour chart. If you don't have that option, you can use 125 minutes. I mean, sorry, if you can use 125 or 2 hours, anything is fine, right? And I also sort of highlight the midpoint of the cycle and the quarter points, right? So your green points, patches, are your quarter points in terms of time cycle, right? And these pink lines are the mid points, right, of the cycle. Now let me show you how you could have traded in the last cycle, right? Because this current cycle is just starting, and I will explain the rules when I explain the how you can backtest, because this indicator also allows you to backtest very easily as per this principle. So for that, what you simply need to do is this line, the reference line. This is called the reference line, right? You simply need to drag and drop anywhere in the last cycle, but nothing changed, right? So you need to go to the settings and just turn this option on. So it will choose that particular date wherever you dropped, and then it will adjust everything according to that date. So basically it is telling the indicator that you want to, trade in this cycle. And hence, it is going to design the levels for this cycle. Now, if you look back, it has taken the past 8 cycles. Now, this is from 20th of March to 20th of March, like that. So that is another complete year, right? Because this is the cycle we just completed. So now look at the magic, right? I mean, how you are going to trade. So trading is, as per GAN rules again, GAN rules and GAN levels. So GAN says that, if price takes a resistance, let's say at this level, it is taking a resistance, right? Because price did not reach this level, no? So this is the highest resistance after the cycle opened, right? And then what happened? It broke below the next support on this candle. So as soon as that happens, when price reacts from a resistance above and breaks below the support, that is your short condition. So you are supposed to sell short. And then your stop loss should be one level above. Initial stop loss at least, one level above. Okay? Then your first target is here. Second, third. So, luckily you got this gap down move. And in just one shot, maybe in 1 or 2 days itself, you got roughly 1, 2, 3 targets. Because you shorted here and you got 1, 2, 3 targets. So my recommendation is that whenever you get 3 targets, right, on a setup like this, you should always exit. At least, 70, 80% you should exit. Remaining you can trail. But as you can see, no candle closed below this thing. And in fact, this candle closed above the high. So this was your condition to exit, right? In fact, you should have reversed your position, because price, again, according to GAN principle, took the support at this level. Then next day broke above this level, right? So this was your long condition. So you should have reversed the trade. If you did not exit here, too, you should have definitely exit. Not just that, you should have reversed the trade to long at this level. So are you seeing, how easily, according to a very mathematical foundation of GAN, you're able to identify trend reversals, and you're able to write the trend, and you're able to, know exactly when to enter. Each of these levels is effectively your supports and resistance, also your entry and exit levels. And not just that, let's say you took a long entry here, right? So when you get your first target, and remember this risk management rule, okay, when you are trading, not just with this setup, with any setup. So when you get your first target, let's say if you're trading on 100 quantity, you should exit 50 quantity here. 50% you should exit on first target. Okay. So your initial stop loss was here, and then immediately you should trail your stop loss here. When you exited here, you should trail your stop loss one level below. When your another 50% will, get second target, then trail your stop loss here. On third target, trail your stop loss here. Fourth target, trail your stop loss here. Okay. Still now, stop loss did not get hit. Your fifth target achieved, and your stop loss is here. So you got, 5 targets on this long trade without hitting a single stop loss. And you know how much is each level? Do you know how much is each level? Let me show you. So this level to level is around roughly, I think, 450 points each level. Okay. So now imagine you got 3 targets on the down and 5 targets on the up. That's about 8 GAN targets you achieved in a single cycle, right? There was one short trade and one long trade in a period of roughly around 45 days, right? So from your 21st of March to 5th of May, right? So roughly 45 days, you got 2 trades. And in that 2 trades, you gained a profit target of 8 GAN cycles. Each GAN level is 450 points. So 450 into 8 is around 3600 points. Of course, April was a very special month, very extremely volatile, but you could have killing, if you followed the GAN strategy in this cycle. So on one lot, if you multiply that by 75, there is a profit of almost 2.7 lakhs in one period. Now let me go back and show you some more periods, right? So that you know that it is working on all periods, not just one. And the beauty of this tool is that it is very backtesting friendly, as you can see, right? You can go to any cycle in the past, and I always recommend that no matter what strategy you're doing, especially if you're a swing trader, you should go and minimum backtest for 2 years. And I also shared a journal, right, where you will be able to record all your trades. You will be able to know how many trades ended up in profit, how many trades are ending up in loss, what is your average profit per trade, what is your average loss per trade, etc. Right. So when you have all that data in your mind before you start trading with your setup, that gives you the conviction. You talked about mindset, right? Nothing helps develop the mindset more than spending time with your chart and strategy and completing the backtest. That is the only mantra that I can give you to fix the mindset issue. Of course, you can, do meditation and, all of that, right? So you need to be in a calm state of mind. I mean, think of it like, like you treat anything else, right? You need focus, you need concentration, and you need utmost to be one with your chart, right? It's like you have to understand the vibration of, what the chart is telling you. It's like your heartbeat. So once you learn how to decode, what the chart is telling you. So for that, I have detailed courses. I cover some of those theories. But anyways, coming back to this, see if now I have come back to which period? Sorry, this period we already checked, right? So let's see this period. Okay, 2 cycles back I'm going. So now look at what happened here. So price kind of, was at this level, right? It kind of broke this level. So a long condition got triggered here with your stop loss here, right? But then price reversed, your stop loss got hit. Correct? Are you with me? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Are you
Yes,
with
sir.
me?
Yes, yes.
Yeah. So see, long condition got triggered here. Your initial stop loss is here. Your stop loss got hit. Are you able to understand?
Right, right. Is it?
So when your stop loss gets hit, you should also reverse your trade because price is reacting from a resistance above, and you should reverse your trade, right? So you lost sort of one level here, but within the next few days you recovered that. Whatever you lost here in this target, you would have recovered that money, right? And not just that, you got your second target, and here you have an option either to exit or to trail your stop loss to here. If you did not exit, then again your stop loss would have hit here, but your net, I think you would have gained one. So from here to again it would have gained one. So in
So
this
lost.
period, because of the volatility, you lost one level here, you gained 2 levels here, right? You could have exited, you had a chance to exit, and you could have gained one level. So 1 or 2 levels you would have gained. Still no net loss in this period, right? And one GAN level is again, roughly around that only. I think, around 400. Usually, it will be in that range only, 400 to 450.
250 to 400. Yeah.
So now let's go back one more period. So 2 cycles we tested. In this period, we got, let's say, 8 levels of profit. Here we, let's say, got 1 level of profit, right? No loss yet, right? So let's go back one period back. Okay, so again, this is your reference level. Price started here, right? So this was, a red candle, first candle itself was red, and then this acted as a resistance, right? So then this resistance, this support got broken and your short got triggered here, right? So you got your one level. Here you should exit your 50% and remaining you should trail to here, right? And then price went deep, did not touch it, right? But then when you see this kind of a reversal, you have a
We can
choice, right?
exit.
You have a choice to exit, right? If not here, at least above this or above 50% also sometimes can be said, right? Because price action also you are looking at, right? I mean, if price
Yeah,
made a swing and then it is breaking above that swing, so you should exit here or here, wherever. Let's say, as per rules, this came very close to this GAN level, right? Because it was deep into this territory. So sometimes, you can use that benefit also of, this much buffer is okay. As long as it has crossed 50%, no? And more towards, 80-90% here, then that is okay. At least 75% you should have crossed. You can just measure the distance and figure out whether it has crossed, touched 75% of the zone or not. If so, then you can keep your stop loss here. And you should also reverse the trade here, right? In that case. So you got what? You got one level here effectively, right? Because your stop loss would have gotten hit here. And then if you reversed your position here, you got one, right? And your stop loss is here. When your target is here, your stop loss is here, right? Now, when it went here, see, it did not close. So you could have either kept your stop loss here, in which case it would have exited. But then when it again showed a reversal candle like this, you could have gone long here again. So again, you got one, you got your one target here. So one target on the down and one target on the up. Okay. Again, price, formed this kind of a zone, right? But ideally, you have to wait till it breaks below. So again, it broke below here, right? Or if you're not confident of going long, short there, you have to wait for one more level break and you can go short here. So in that case, you would have gotten one level here. So one here, and maybe one here. So 3 GAN levels again you got in terms of profit. So to some extent, you have to combine with chart patterns also, right? For example, here you can see a double top being formed, right? Now, once a double top forms and, it shows a thing, I would have actually gone short here. This was the best level to go short because taking advantage of this pattern. If I don't use pattern, then, I would have to wait because, it did not actually touch this level. So effectively my short as per pure GAN level logic does not get here. But if I take advantage of the fact that, price is not able to breach this resistance zone and price is breaking below this level, I can go short here, right? So that is also allowed. That's a small tweak, right? If you did that, you would have gotten 2 levels here, right? And you would have gotten 1 level here and 1 level here. So around 4 levels. So 3 to 4 levels again, profit, right? So 3 cycles, you have not made a single loss in any cycle. Okay, now let's look at the next. So price again, started here. It took the resistance here, then broke below support here. This is where your
the line you are staging here, it will automatically get fitted, or we are keeping at the bottom or top of this line.
Sorry, can you repeat that question again?
The line that cursor you are stretching for the next
this line.
Wherever
So
you
this
put
line is basically to select the period, right? So I need to, so basically when you backtest, right, you have to choose
here we are putting this line either at
anywhere,
the top or
anywhere in this cycle. Any candle is okay. As long as it is within this blue line to this blue line, you put it anywhere, it will work. See, I have coded it intelligently. So based on this date, right? And these are all fixed dates, right? Because it is based on sun cycle. Sun will always come to, some position on some date. That is fixed. Okay, maybe plus minus 1 or 2 days, but I don't take that variation. So that is okay. So actually these dates are all fixed. So when you place this date, I calculate what is the cycle beginning date and what is the ending date. So based on that, all the computations are done. So this indicator is intelligently doing all these calculations behind the scenes. Okay. So you can put it at the beginning of the cycle, right? I'll show you here. So you can put it here. You can even put it at the end of the cycle, right? At the last bar, right? Or you can put it anywhere in middle. See, the reason I kept it flexible because you don't have to exactly find what is the first bar, last bar, right? You just have to find the cycle. That's all. Within this blue bar, anywhere you put, it will draw in this level. Within these blue bars, you put anywhere in this bar, it will got this cycle like that. Got it?
Got it.
So let's say, see again, same philosophy, same rule. Price took the resistance here, broke the support below, short got triggered. One target, 50% out, trail your stop loss, right? Second target, you can trail your stop loss here. Almost third target done, and your stop loss got triggered here, right? So 2 targets done, right? 1, 2. Okay. But the candle that, see, you could have gone long here, not here exactly, right? Even if you gone long, then you would have to reverse the trade here. So one candle would be your stop loss, right? Because the candle that is a breakout candle, that candle high was never taken out. So which means this was kind of a fake out, right? So ideally, you should wait for a retest, and even if you went long here, you have to reverse the trade, right? So because the price action in the next few candles clearly indicated that it is not able to overcome this resistance. Okay, and that is also kind of the mid cycle if you look at it. So anyways, I think at this candle definitely you should have taken the short trade, and then again you got 1, 2, I think almost 3 targets you would have gotten, and then before it hit your stop loss. So 2 targets. So 2 targets here and another 2 targets here, right? So again 4 targets done. Okay, 4 targets, and I think this targets looks a little bigger to me in my eyes. Okay, and again 400 points. So roughly, you can say 400, 450 points would be your one level, right? But still you got your 4 targets here. So like that, if you continue, you will see that,
I
on
understand,
average,
understand.
see on an average, you will get around 3 targets, so you will definitely get on an average. So 400 points. So let's calculate an average annual return, right, for this strategy. So assuming that 400 is an average, target, right? And then you get 3 targets in a cycle, right? 1200 points. And then you have 8 cycles. I'm just taking an average. Of course, you saw in April itself, you got 3600 points. I'm not taking that. April is an odd month, right? Every month you will not going to get that kind of volatility, right? So for one lot of Nifty, on an average annual basis, you can get around 9600 points. And this is the absolute minimum I've taken. You will get more than this, not less, right? So if you round it out to, let's say, 10,000 points, right, in a year, roughly, right? So that is into 75. So that's like,
10 to 500.
7.5 lakh rupees per lot. And I always recommend doing it in at least 2 lots. So if you did that, your income would be at least, 15 lakh rupees. I do in 4 lots, so my income would be, let's say, 30 lakh rupees, right? Now, 30 lakh rupees is almost equivalent to your, somebody's salary, right? Annual salary. Is it not? I mean,
Yes.
right? So technically, if you master one strategy, and you don't have to do it on Nifty, you can do it on anything, right? You can do it on Bank Nifty, you can do it on Fin Nifty, you can do it on any particular stock. But my recommendation is when you are starting something new, you always start with one and do it for at least, if you're 6 months, 9 months, right? Before you add more, because at that time you will have the appetite to take more risk, right? Because if you would have made accumulated money for about 6 to 9 months, will you feel more
Yes.
confident or not?
Sure.
So with that confidence, you can diversify. Like in a business, right? When you start, you always start small, right? So think of trading as a business. So start small so that, because your job as a trader is risk management. People think it's strategy. I call it risk management, right? And the beauty of these setups like this, which is based on the GAN's mathematical principles, the natural laws, time cycles, everything is combined into one strategy. And this is the simplest strategy because you don't have to draw these levels. You don't have to do anything. You just have to sit and trade, right? Now, if you just remove this condition, right, the historical condition, it will automatically reset the levels to your current period, right? That is the default, right? So right now you are here. Right now you are here, right? So how will you trade this? So look at this. You got a very good up move, right? Now this level is sort of acting like a resistance. Now, if I have been long, as I said, I am still in the long trade. You can, if I was trading from this, I am actually still in the long, right? So you can actually stay long here, right? Or you can go long on the breakout of this level, technically, right? Or maybe you can wait for the breakout of this last period high. So whatever you do, this is actually, Nifty is still holding here. Now, let's say if it breaks below this low and this cycle commit, you can either take some small shots, and if it breaks below this low, I will heavily short the market. I
I
will
can
heavily
continue.
short here because price spent a lot of time here, and if it covers one GAN
Yeah.
level, comes below this, it is also one point of support
Resistance.
here, right? So if this support gets broken,
Support.
I will definitely get 2 more targets for sure, for sure. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So you can enter small quantity on break below this for short. If you go long here, then maybe you can use this one candle as a stop loss or the midpoint as a stop loss, right? To be on the safe side, right? And then you wait. After that, you wait whether if it breaks, let's say, after hitting your stop loss, if it again breaks above, then you can go long, and if it breaks below, you can go short, like that. So I am still long on Nifty, right? Because it is just holding the range, just holding the range, right? Obviously, it is holding the range because it has run up quite significantly in just matter of 3 to 5 days. It has given this huge bull run, right? Obviously, market can't run like this forever. So it has printed so much. Now it is tired. It is taking some rest. Now it is taking some rest means the next move is going to come from here. And it is perfectly aligning with the GAN cycle. Are you seeing the beauty? Now imagine,
Yeah.
a trend that appears tomorrow. Then this is, you're perfect. Your levels are designed for you. Your cycle is ready. And this is the perfect time to initiate the trade, right? For the new
Right.
cycle. And like I said, in a given cycle, your minimum target is 3 GAN levels. 3 GAN levels, right? Whether you get it in one trade or two trade, that is different. In one trade itself, if you get 3 GAN levels, you should always exit. Because don't see, it is like 270. So let's say, in GAN's terminology, right? If you consider from 0 to 1 as a 360-degree, the full circle, right? It is often said this 270 degrees or 0.75
270.
acts as a very strong reversal zone, right? So which means what? You have gotten 3 targets, you should get out. Especially if price goes above and then breaks below, it should get out. So 3 levels is what you should target. And let's say, price reverses from here, and let's say around the midpoint, you get this, right? And after this midpoint, you get another kind of down thing like this. Then again, you can go short, as I explained, right? So the
Right.
rules are very, very mechanical, very, very simple. This is the easiest time cycle to follow because this is based on sun cycle. Our entire life depends on sun. So why will stock now market be any different, right? Now this is one of the indicators, right? I have plenty of such indicators, which is based on seasonality, which is based on GAN's, some theories of GAN, right? Like the master squares, the GAN square of 9, of course, the flagship, tool that
Yeah.
everybody uses. So I have all of that, right? Let me now stop the recording and I can take up any questions you have. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, no, no question for this year swing indicator. It looks very good. Right.